Kusuzampo and welcome to your program Tech Talk. I'm your producer, Kezawangmo. In this episode of Tech Talk, get ready for part two of our conversation with Bhutan's pioneering AI tech startup led by a group of visionary second-year Gyalpajing students. These brilliant young minds are shaping Bhutan's tech landscape, opening doors to endless possibilities. So stay tuned for an inspiring discussion ahead. When we talk about technology, there's always this question about data security, right? I think that is one of the biggest concerns, in the tech industry right now, the tech world. So how do you guys maintain data security of all the projects that you work on? So could you give us some details on this?
So regarding the data security, of course, we obviously have to encrypt it so that we do not see it. So when the clients, when they interact with our chatbot, everything that they talk and they do the stuff there, we cannot see it at all. So it's very highly encrypted, and it kind of feels frustrating at some point. I want to say, we're not able to see, so it's a bit sad to see that. And but then we trust our clients, and we hope that we want to make our clients trust us as well. So we encrypt everything, and then now with the new some of the features, we are adding some new features as well, and it's taking some time to come into the market because we are also encrypting that part.
Okay.
So yes, so regarding data, it's very well secured in our case. Unless a Russian hacker comes, which I think could ultimately do something. But
the security is very important in our company. Like, we really focus on this because AI needs a data, and then data is very important to everyone. As we all know, the new fuel for data is the new driving fuel. And then it was like, regarding our chatbot, our first product, and then everyone says we are pulling data from their website. So when we say we are pulling data from their website, we are not saying we are extracting all the data and putting in our database.
Yeah.
That's not this case. What we are doing is, of course, we need to feed the data to our chatbot so that it can answers to the users. So what our chatbot does is when we don't really extract all the data and put it in our database, our chatbot does is when user asks in chatbot, he will just go to the current website, he will surf around and he will find the answer, and then he will directly get this answer and forward it to the client. So it basically remains on the client side. It doesn't go beyond the client side, the front end. It doesn't go beyond this front end because we're not exploring. So this the first thing, and the second thing is we are also giving some features to our client that they can put some PDF documents so that our chatbot can be trained on this particular PDF, so that when you just ask about some documentations and some legals and forms, so it should be giving answers. So we need to fit this form. So when this form, as Jampa said, it will be encrypted, and all these things will be encrypted in our database. So we won't be able to see what it is.
Okay.
So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is conversations. We can see the conversations, but what people are talking with chatbots. So basically, we need to see this because we need to train it accordingly, because our AI must give some accurate answer to them. So we really need to give, but we get concerns from we get concern from our client, and then we also we also give this conversation to our client to see from their dashboard. So we use this, and then other features, as Jabal said, first we were just shocked that what we can do with if there is no proper security,
Yeah.
At first, we were building these new features. We just try to see what can we do this from this, without getting any concern, without thinking any loss, and then we just see is able to pull everything from your device, So these things, I've been wondering how much Google's and all these things might be getting from us.
Oh my God, yeah.
This is too much, and then we thought that's crossing the limit. So we really need to stop all these things, and then we just limited all this. We just blocked everything, and then we're just getting the location of the users, just to track from which from the people are chatting from our bot, so that the client can be focus on this particular. Whereas, example in BNB, if client is talking more from Samsi, he should focus more on pharmacy because there is more client on pharmacy. So for this particular reason, we are giving. But while collecting their location, we just give some notification like to about their location or not. If they deny, we'll just it won't. But if they allow, it will get the data. So that's the only day we collect data from. That's all. So others we like that's too much. So
you just
everything we are not. And
what if you guys unblock it sometimes? Do you guys try to do that? Are you tempted to do that?
It's just like we were curious because all of us were doing this for first time, and then our cyber lead has said like we can get this kind of thing, like so we really wanted to try, and then we said like, but we didn't do from other client to client. We one of our friends is in Gelposon, so we just directly send the link to him, and then we just asked him to chat in our chatbot, and then we did it, and then later we said like, oh bro, you are getting your data out here. So this kind of like it's kind of like both fascinating and then
exactly. Oh my god.
So I was like wondering like how much Facebook and Google are there from us, like this too much like. But you have concern. You have concern on it. We have been working, and then like ours is safe, like absolutely safe. We're not going to take all data, and what we can do with that data. If it is other, we can sell it. But right now, we were not able to sell.
What if he sells it to the Russians? I'm just kidding, but I think it's nice. But at the same time, like you said, it's really scary to know that maybe like a group of 7 people are going through all of my financial data. Okay, but like I think the possibility is wild, but at the same time also very fascinating, like you said. And good to know that NoMindBhutan, I think, has convinced me enough to know that data is secured. And now. Talking about the market here in Bhutan, I think Bhutan is now finally, catching up to the world and finally like prioritizing technology. So how do you think the market in technology is right now? Like since you guys, it's been just 7 months, right? Since you all started your company. So how do you think the market is? And do you think you'll be able to sustain your company in the Bhutanese market for a longer time?
The market in tech is... in Bhutan especially is quite difficult. It's quite difficult. Lots of cynics, lots of critics, lots of
very the Bhutanese way.
And they're very critical and they're very disbelieving of what we do and such. Ugin can back me up on this.
Yes.
When we first started to actually sell our chatbot to other companies, like before we went to BNB and such, we had to go to many other organizations. So when we first went over there, many people, we tried to give our pitch, we tried to talk to them and all that, but many times more often than not we were rejected because sometimes the CEO wasn't there, or sometimes they said they'll look into it. So usually we went from the top and then we would go to the bottom because they'd say talk to the general manager, then they'd say talk to the customer service, then suddenly we'll be talking to no one, ma'am. And then we'll be out, and then and finally really thank you to BNB actually, honestly. So once we got to talk to BNB and such, right over there we got to talk to the CEO. Uman was nervous, I was nervous. And we went inside and the CEO was like, sure, let's do it.
He was sure about it.
He didn't give me a second thought, like he just said like, let me call some few people. He called some tech team and then some drag marketing director. And then he asked us to give a presentation out there. We are not prepared. Just showed this, and then we give some random presentation out there, and they say like, let's get in. Let's sign an MOU, and then but for that you need to sign you need to be a registered company. We are rushing to a central officer, then we are signing in, and then we have registered as company, and then first we were like kind of had a hard time to convince other clients that we are because like they think like we are students, and then they think like we're not that focused, and then they were like some kind of skeptical about this, and then not only this, like, and then like even in social medias, like they post something bad about us, and then all these things, like they said like there's no innovations, there is no something like this, but actually they think like we are using some third parties tools to build this our chatbot. Of course we use third party tools because we need, as I said, that we are not a foundational company, like foundation model company. We need to get some proper model so that we give a perfect answer. except from this model, rest all of us are like everything is built in house. We have built everything from our side, and then we like what, and then like they also say like, oh, what's the like difference between us and other things like if you look at the like both internal the deep internal the internal part and the feature side, we like there's lots of difference like whereas in our side like there's some features that international companies doesn't provide. Because like you know the Bhutanese contacts, so what Bhutanese client needs and then what our Bhutanese market demands. So we accordingly build some such features for them. And then the other thing is like internally, like whereas like they say like if we are using other third party like others like third party tools, how are we going to sustain? Like, we also need to pay to them, but so it doesn't make sense to us sustaining for 7 months.
Yeah, exactly.
So you see, we need to get API for model, but what we do is we get this API and then we have our muscles to doing all these things, and then like we make our own versions, and then like the innovation that we had is like we were able to figure out the token system, whereas in other API, OpenAI API.
Yeah.
So in this, how they charge is like in letters wise, token. So it's basically a token, like how much letter you write to the AI and how much letters of like sentence you give back. They calculate all these things and then they charge you. So that's how the charging system works. Whereas in ours, no matter how much daily question you write, we just consider this as one token. So that's how we are able to compress, and then we are able to come out with algorithm that can be like that's the reason how we are making profit. So like we do have we do make profit, but we don't give to our we don't need to buy them ourselves. We put back everything to our next project. Maybe the research, as Champal said, we are doing lots of research, and then not only us, and also we are also working with BNB like in financial. So they want to develop AI that is important in banking system. So we are working with this BNB. So we are working this year, and then Champal said like our product is on our way. It's coming, and then even like not only this like. We have other like research going on in education sectors, health sectors.
Oh, okay.
So like let's say like while diagnostic, we don't really need to doctor to attend all these things like to see all X-rays and all these things. Our AI model can give all the result to doctor. He just need to verify and finalize. That's all. Rest all the like scanning and all these things can be done by AI. We use computer vision out there, and then even like in education board, it's like an AI tutorial. AI tutorial. The ChatGPT does give answer, but you see, they directly give the direct answers, and this is not the way how learning happens. They just directly give answer, and then makes people like lazy, and they don't all fully depends on this. Whereas our education board, it doesn't give directly the answers. It just takes you through the process. To solve this math question, you need to add these questions. You can add it and give it to me answer. And then you can add it and give it to answer. It's basically follow ups you with all the steps and take you to until it should be like we need to give effort, and then the learning happens between these things. So these are some features like the product that we are working on, and then.
Sounds like a very tedious, and a lot of big project that you guys are working on. Yeah. And how are you able to get all of these data for, you said you're working for education, a project with education as well, and, with BNB, how are you able to get all of these data? Because Bhutan is not known for having really, good data banks. So how are you able to, come, overcome this challenge?
Regarding data in the Bhutanese context, it's kind of hard to get, as I said. So mostly regarding this doctoring and all that, we've been able to get plenty of data online. But regarding the educational data, that has been a bit hard to get. So regarding the Zonga chatbot and all that, we have, right now it seems a bit difficult, a bit impossible in fact because of the lack of data and such. So we're also focusing on these other subjects such as history, chemistry, science, and all that. So the sciences, because of the vast availability of data outside. So we've been able to easily incorporate them. So all we had to do was just do some structuring and then some Bhutanese question answers and all that. So we've been able to do that perfectly fine. Regarding history over there are some issues with copyright and such. We have had to use these books from like Karafunsa and all that. So that brings a whole another quandary of issues.
So that's the reason why we're not able to public.
And have you been, as a company now that you guys are working on, such big real projects, have you been able to maybe go through the tech policies that we have in the country? Have you been able to go through it? Maybe, are there any loopholes? Should we make our tech policies more stronger, when it comes to data security and all these things? Have you been able to go through it once, in the Bhutanese context?
Looking at most of the tech policies in Bhutan, they are quite outdated. And I'm sure we will very soon need to have a redo of all of it, because with this new emerging data, cybersecurity issues, this AI issues and all that, we're going to have a much more comprehensive legal system to deal with it. But right now, I believe it is not really that's important right now.
Yeah, still a long way to go there. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's really interesting to get all of your opinions on this. And, now moving on to the next thing. You guys have already talked about your projects, the big projects that you're working on. We'll move on to the last question that I have. What does NoMindBhutan aim to be? Since 7 months, what are you guys aiming to be? You guys have been talking about how you guys have this bigger goal that you want to work towards. So what's that bigger goal? What is that end goal of NoMindBhutan?
If we say the very, very end goal is that soon we are also want to jump in the field of artificial general intelligence, AGI. So not only us, all the big tech companies are already started working on it. I know we are late, but still then we can build on our Bhutanese contacts, obviously, so that it can help the Bhutanese and all these things. But for now, our goal is to transform and we need to innovate. So make an end-to-end experience between people and AI. So when other people think AI, they just think about the large models, large language models, and all these things complex AI. But what we are trying to is this: we are trying to give a face to AI, so that they can interact with the peoples more easily. So we're trying to build a tool that is more convenient to use. It doesn't really need big workshops and all the things. It can be easily usable. So these are the things that we are trying to do. And then at the end of the day, we are AI research and development company. So we'll be working on various problems. Whenever we see problems, we'll try to research more about this problem and think how we can integrate AI to make this problem solved. So that's the goal that we are having right now. And then we are not able to dig the problems and all these things, but what we face in day to day, we're trying to solve it. So.
And so I just want to, so one question that I want an opinion from all of you is, how is the tech situation here in our country? We are finally stepping into it. So where do you think we are going? Are we taking the right path, since you all are, the nation, the tech futures of our nation. So what do you feel about this current, situation that we're in right now as a nation?
Honestly, I can't complain much. Looking at the tech situation in Bhutan, I have been immersed in tech for my entire life now, because of my father, because of my upbringing and all that. So I've been able to see how tech has slowly changed, like FDI coming into Bhutan, foreign companies coming into Bhutan, and how that has slowly changed how our country has been working. So looking at it right now, I feel like we are definitely taking the right steps. So, and also seeing startups like this start, when first approach me, the first message in my WhatsApp is, we can say, "Wait, no startup join Ben." So so seeing things like this happen and seeing many other startups also start up and come and all that. So the only thing I have to say, only thing I want is for everybody to be a bit more unique. So everybody being a bit more unique, everybody being a bit more courageous, being a bit more courageous, being a bit more bold with their ideas. So I believe that is what we lack in Bhutan. So to be a bit more daring, a bit more risk-taking with them. So if we are able to do that, I believe that our country, we are already taking most of the right steps. One thing we can definitely improve on is the internet. Our internet is really tough, but Otherwise, I believe we're taking most of the right steps in the future. So Bhutan's future is definitely in the tech industry, I believe, because we cannot really compete in any of the other sectors. Very difficult, small population, small land mass, small farmland area, very little natural resources. So what we should make do with, what we should focus most on, I believe, is technology. And I believe right now we are going in the right direction now.
Okay, that's great. And you?
On my side, I think the first step should naturally be the internet, as he said. Like, if you look at all of the other countries, the developed countries, the internet there is very, very cheap. So if you look at the situation now, people usually don't read, and people usually just watch videos, which is quite expensive in Bhutan because of the internet. Like, internet is expensive, so watching YouTube videos to learn more about the stuff about the world is quite expensive for us. And if this internet problem is quite solved, like if the internet becomes way more cheaper than it is right now, then I think like even the small kids and so on will try to explore further beyond what they can explore right now. So I think the kids right now are quite intelligent. They're exploring so many things on YouTube, even though the internet's quite expensive. So I guess we're in the right direction.
A huge burn to the parents' pockets.
But for me, obviously internet, one is so it's because when we were in college, it's okay because college provides Wi-Fi, so we can work anytime we want. But when we are in vacations, it takes a lot of data, so that's the problem. One thing, and then other is like searching and getting all the skills together. There's very limited skilled people in the country. If you go and see in the in the tech market right now, there's hundreds of people who can develop a web, but there's, I can say, less than a single person to fine tune a GPT model. So there's going to be the next the tech the moment tech that going to be the in our in the next few in the next 5 to 6 years is like AI. So I feel like everyone should explore these things because as I said, like if you're not if you're lagging behind, smart people is going to take over you, boss. We explore. There's tons of AI tools that can like make your work very easy. The younger generation should be like should be more smarter than us. So they should be like exposed in such tools. Need to be more exposure. So for this all the things like we don't really get exposure in our country. Like if you look see like we are the only, I guess, only AI startup currently out here, and then. So there's very limited tech startups, and then so that's why the younger generation won't be getting like most of the hand experience on all these things. The only the source is this internet and the online, so they can get from online. So therefore, like at the end of the day, it's all internet,
Yes, okay, that's interesting. But I think like you said, I think education is having a difficult time right now with AI coming up, ChatGPT coming up. So I think it's a huge loophole that we can fill in, but also, benefit from, I think. But with this, we have come to the end of our segment on TikTok. And like you said, the first AI company, I don't know how I did not think of this. So the first AI company in Bhutan, NoMindBhutan. And I hope that all of our listeners had a great time listening to this young minds and this amazing possibility that they're going to open up for our nation. So thank you so much for joining us, and
thank you very much for having us.
Okay.